Okay guys, welcome back. Once you have finished your final plan, you are ready to engrave your plate. Now, I've already got your plates with your name already on them. I put your name on a sticker so that even when I wrote your name, I wouldn't put any marks into this. Any mark that gets made onto this, and I was just afraid that it would show through. This is the back. This is the front where you'll carve into. Any marks that get made on here are going to show up in your final print. So you really need to take care of these plates. And your name is just on the back. Okay, so once you're ready, I'm going to take a look at your plan, your final plan, and make sure that I can recognize your animal. Okay, and do you have a good composition? Did you fill up all of the space? Remember we talked before about don't have a picture where you have a bunch of empty space, okay? Where your animal is just in one part and then most of your paper is empty. You want to really fill up your paper with your image, okay? You don't want there to be a lot of blank space in here. So once I see that I can recognize your animal and you have a good composition, then I'm going to give you your plate and you'll be ready to engrave it. We need to transfer this image onto this plate. And to do that, what you're going to do is on the corners of your drawing, draw those darker, just with your pencil, but draw them dark. That way you can really see them through on the other side. Then, when I flip this over, now I can see, and I think you can see a little bit on the camera where those corners line up. My name is facing up. Putting this down, I can see my name. Okay, that's the back. And I'm going to put just one piece of tape right here to hold that in place. And you can see there, just one piece of tape is good just to hold that in place. And now I can flip this over and I can start to trace. And what I'm doing is as I trace this, that pressure from my pencil is making a mark on the other side onto my foam plate. So I already had my drawing just perfect, just how I want it, because I will not be able to erase. Once I make that mark on that plate, it's permanent. You can't undo a mark into the plate. That's why we want to make sure that you really have your drawing exactly how you want it to be before you start engraving. So I'm just tracing over every single part of my picture and it's going onto my plate. Now if you're not sure what you've done, if you get off track and you can't remember, oh, did I trace the sun or not, I can't remember, let me show you, let me finish this water and then I'll show you how you can check and why I only taped it on one part. So now I can look and see, and I think in this camera it's going to be hard for you guys to see that, but I can see, you can even see where it's raised here. Well, that pressure that made it raised on the paper also pressed that design in here, so I can see that image a little bit, well enough that I know that I did get the sun, and I finished the bird, but I didn't do the reflection of the bird, so I would continue doing that. You would go through and trace your whole plate. I'll go and fast forward as I do that. Okay, now I have traced my whole thing, and I can see it on here, but just barely. So what you'll then do is take your, and I'm going to save this tape, because I can use it to store. I want to keep this safe, so when I'm done, I'm going to store this in my sketchbook. But for now, I'm just going to put it on the edge of my desk. These lines are just very light, and I don't think, I wonder if I hold it up if you can see. There, you can see how they're there. I can see them, but they're very faint. And I need them to be deeper, engraved, carved into. So now what I'm going to do is just with my pencil, I'm going to go over and redraw those darker. If you feel like you want to be able to look at your original picture to help, you can certainly do that. And I'm just going and just redrawing those lines, tracing over them again, just to make them deeper. It also makes them darker because of the pencil. But really, since this will be used as a stamp, it's really just making them deeper. I really want those carvings to be deep. Not so deep that it's going to go through the back side, but deep enough so the ink won't get in there, which we'll talk about next week when we're ready to start printing. So I'll do this in fast forward and then come back and show you how I would package mine up at the end of work time. Okay, I've traced over my whole thing, carved those lines in deeper, and this is ready for me to use to print next week. But I want to keep it safe because any marks that get made on here, any scratches or anything, would then become part of my print, and I want to keep it just pristine, just like it is now. I'm going to take that piece of tape back, and you can do this in the front of your book or the back of your book. In the front, I still have my example one. That's fine, I can put it up here. I don't want to cover my name though. I'm going to put it in the back of my book or in the middle, that way it'll be super protected. And I'm just taping it in so it doesn't fall out of my book. Just carefully taping, don't press too much. You don't want to get marks on here. And now this is ready for me to get next week. Team folder people, be very careful as you're passing work out. Now that we have these plates in our sketchbooks, you'll need to be especially careful when passing these back out. Alrighty guys, I'm excited to see your finished plans and give you your plates so that you can begin engraving. Enjoy!